Okay, hello. Let's do a quick explanation of secondary UV channels, what they can be used for, and how to set those up in Blender. I'm gonna be using a environment asset as an example here, because that's just what I had in hand. But obviously this can apply to characters or anything, really. So yeah, what I'm doing here is using a bunch of tileable materials, like this white paint or this metal, as well as trim sheets, um, to texture most of this, and then using a second UV channel for my grunge textures, which is all this moss weathering, and you can see that texture here. And the alpha or the transparency is separated. For this one, uh, though you could obviously just pack it in the alpha channel as well. For some reason this isn't the tiling version. You can see that the edges there are faded out. This should probably be the tiling, I think. I have another version that is. Anyway, so very simply, the shader setup for this looks simple. So obviously, you could have something a bit more complicated here. The trim sheet, I mean, it just had a normal map. Um, but yeah, so all I'm doing here is using the attribute node with the name of the second UV channel, plugging that into the vector, which is the coordinates for the texture, and that's how the texture knows that it's meant to look at the second UV channel and not the first one. And then I'm just mixing between the original texture, um, which is the trim sheet in this case, between that and the decal. That's about it. Um, so let's look at the just how to do this, I guess. I'm gonna do something super simple, like a cube here. Assign the trim sheet to it. And so UV maps can be found here under object data properties. So I'm just gonna add another one, name it, and you can see already that now that I have a name for that, or now that the like if I change this name, then that's gonna go away because the shader is reading just that string. So I am going to let's just do something like this. I'll grab my trim sheet, and actually I probably have this one here already, so I can, never mind, I don't. Okay, let's not do that then. Yeah, actually gonna go to the normal map, place that there, and I am on the wrong UV channel. Look at that. Oh well. Try that again. Go here, like that, and then, you know, because we're separating the grunge from this detail, that means that we can sort of map these things as I know however I want it, and then if this was like a building, then I could, you know, extend it upwards or whatever, right? And UV that as well. But then instead of having my you know, like grunge in sort of all of this, which it does have a little bit, but then I can make sure that, you know, my grunge is exactly where I want it. So gonna go to that decal, UV set, clear the seam, and just unwrap it like that. Though actually, should have, let's undo, because in this case I actually want to, I'll just grab these, and you can see here that I have two options for my bottom moss. So I'm gonna flip this and just place it there, and now we have grunge along the bottom, and then grab this and do that, and there we go. That's kind of it. And then yeah, let's set this up from scratch instead, I suppose. So all I need to do is I'm keeping the normal up there, but yeah. Add a image texture. I'll select my God, okay. I need some more screen here, and I don't really need the UVs right now. Trim sheet. Then duplicate that, assign it to my moss color texture, duplicate that, assign that to my moss alpha. Again, this would probably be in one texture, but for some reason I have them separated. And then, by default, this will look at the first UV map. If we want to make a texture look at the second UV map instead, all we do is get an attribute node, type in the name of the attribute, which is the name of the UV map here. Just plug that in. And you could add a, what is it, vector transform? Yeah, here as well, if you need to mess with the scale. This is more like for tileable stuff though, whether you, like if I'm doing if I need to do a pattern of something, which I don't think I have any textures like that to hand right now, unfortunately, but for example, if you for some reason needed to do detail texturing on clothing, then to get like a fabric pattern, but the base UVs that that it's looking at, or like if the base UVs have some warping in them or something from your UVs when you bake the base textures, then yeah, then you'd need a second UV channel, and for that you'd want to do this kind of setup, and adjust the tiling in the shader like that. So yeah, mix RGB. So we're going to mix the base trim sheet texture with the moss grunge texture based on the alpha, and just plug that in. And I've got them the wrong way around because I always do that. So there we go. Yeah, that's all there is to it really. Let me know if this was helpful and all that.